Hello and welcome to MC in Focus, broadcasting live from Montgomery College in Rockville, Maryland, on Comcast Channel 10 and on E-Radio, WMCR. I'm Dan Hendricks.
And I'm Bianca Delaglio. Montgomery County's police headquarters is scheduled to move from Rockville to Gaithersburg starting next month. The move will begin a $108 million project to consolidate county police, fire, forensics, and emergency management departments into one location. Operating the departments from one location is part of County Executive Ike Leggett's Smart Growth Initiative and is expected to save the county money by selling or ending the lease at previous locations. The new location is the GE Technology Park in Gaithersburg and is not expected to be operational until late this summer.
Staying in the metropolitan area, 28 protesters were arrested earlier this week at a rally in front of the Department of Justice building. Hundreds of supporters and performers gathered to call for the release of Mumia Abu Jamal, who the supporters have termed a political prisoner in the United States. Protesters showed up ready and willing to get arrested as a unified act of civil disobedience. In solidarity with the movement, M1 of Dead Prez and Chuck D of Public Enemy, amongst other New York artists, traveled to D.C. for the rally. Other demands from the activists included an end to solitary confinement, the death penalty, and mass incarceration in the United States.
Now here's a story about two ambitious MC students who are making a stylish name for themselves.
Montgomery College students Jay Appleseed and Dro Gonzalez are perfect examples of the entrepreneurial spirit that is present here at Montgomery College. Together, these two Montgomery College students have built a local clothing line that represents DC and is a visionary for the street movement.
We live in a generation where everybody just wants to make a hot shirt that will sell now and they'll make some money then. And we really don't support that. We want to make things that will be a staple in our culture. We don't really want to follow trends. We want to create a culture and a standard for our clothing, which is a lot of people are missing.
After the 2010 spring-summer line, we basically all just sat down and just talked about what we could do to start separating ourselves from this area's market. Because I mean, ultimately, that's what you want to do: just separate yourself from your competition. Out in Cali, I saw that there was this boom in pocket T-shirts that were starting to be made. Brands like Tantum and all that really started stapling that out there. And over here on the East Coast, there hadn't been any brands that really caught on to that. None of this whole market on the East Coast really got into the know about that. So I felt that maybe we could have been that brand that brought the pocket tees over to this side of the coast. And to our surprise, they were actually a really huge hit.
So be sure to check out BorgataDC.com for the latest from the up-and-coming clothing brand, brought to you by Montgomery College's very own Jay Appleseed and Dro Gonzalez.
Borgata.
For MC in Focus, I'm Dan Hendricks.
Hey Dan, thanks for showing us the entrepreneurial spirit at MC.
It was a pleasure and a real honor to be able to interview and document the ambition that is present here at Montgomery College. From one business to a national business that we're all aware of, investors continue to show concern after Netflix has released their first quarter earnings. Netflix reported that gross revenue is up while their profit margin sank over 10%. Their earning per share has plummeted from 1.11 million in this quarter last year to 0.08 this year. On a brighter note, Netflix added close to 2 million US subscribers at the end of last year. They also expanded new streaming services in the UK and Ireland. Netflix currently has 26 million global streaming customers and continues to grow.
In TV news, as the audience for free television fades, federal regulators are wrestling over the future of the government-mandated broadcasts, which were originally intended to knit the nation's divided communities together. Today, only 10% of the nation relies on free over-the-air TV. With options such as iTunes, Hulu, YouTube, and Netflix, communities are no longer bonded by watching the same evening news and primetime shows at the same time. Fewer people rely on broadcast television stations around the nation are struggling to survive, even as some rural residents, elderly, and lower-income homes continue to rely on free TV. According to Nielsen, 6 in 10 viewers now get their news online.
In politics, President Obama is urging Congress to extend a 2007 law that cut student loan interest rates in half. On July 1st, the interest rate on federally subsidized Stafford student loans will double when that law expires. President Obama discussed the importance of college education, stating, "Now is not the time to make school more expensive for our young people and their families." If Congress doesn't extend the law, interest rates on some 7.4 million student loans will double, from 3.4 to 6.8%. President Obama has been urging students to use Twitter and Facebook to pressure Congress to maintain the low interest rates. John Boehner announced that House of Representatives will vote Friday to extend the law for a year and keep the current student interest rate. So be sure to include the hashtag #Don'tDoubleMyRate for all you tweeters out there.
Now stay tuned. We've got details on a story that may affect your experience online. More on that after the quick break.
Dude, I need to go to the bathroom.
Let's do it. You know what song has been stuck in my head? Okay, here we go.
You think you're going, baby? Hey, I just met you, and this is crazy. But here's my number, so call me maybe. It's hard to look right at you, baby. But here's my number, so call me.
Yeah, call me Steve. Oh, I'm a wild boy.
Hey kid, want some French fries? Yeah?
No thanks, I have carrots.
Call me Steve. Oh, yeah, call me Steve. Oh, I'm a wild boy. I'm a
Now, welcome back to MC in Focus. In troubling news from the House of Representatives, the Cyber Intelligence Sharing and Protection Act, CISPA, was passed in a rush vote last night, 248 in favor to 168 against. The bill allows the government to use any information for cybersecurity over national security purposes. The bill is heading to the White House for approval. President Obama has already threatened a veto of the bill. You can find much more information about CISPA and which of your rights will be affected online. In better technology news, also taking place this week in Las Vegas is the annual National Associations of Broadcasters show. It's the largest gathering of industry professionals and a collection of vendors displaying their latest creations in digital media and entertainment. Over 1,000 companies occupy the convention, showing their next generation technologies through their interactive exhibits. Many products are being debuted this year. Several new high-end digital film cameras are being introduced. An iPad compatible and self-controllable teleprompter, DSLR rig systems, and much, much more. For more details can be found through YouTube and other websites by searching for NAB 2012.
In national news, Indonesia is stopping all U.S. meat imports after a dairy cow was found to have had mad cow disease. The infected cow was found in a Southern California dairy farm during a routine random test. The USDA tests 1% of the roughly 100,000 cattle that are slaughtered daily. Indonesia's Vice Agriculture Minister says they will lift the ban as soon as the U.S. can assure them that their dairy cows are not sick. U.S. Trade Representative Ron Kirk says there was no evidence any contaminated product had gotten into the food supply, and he assured us there's no risk for U.S. citizens.
Now with an update on MC renovations. The renovation of the Science East has been underway since the start of the semester. It has been a hindrance for students crossing the campus. The renovation has been in the works since 2008 and will match the newly opened Science Center. Science East is expected to reopen by spring 2013.
Staying with Montgomery College, this Sunday, Montgomery College Rockville will host Changing the Odds Festival. The festival is meant to spread awareness of world issues. There will be a variety of theme-centered activities and fun that anyone can enjoy. Inspired by the Hunger Games, the 4 themes of the festival are war, hunger, education, and community. There will also be speakers, an awareness booth, food, drinks, music, and games for the whole family. Changing the Odds Festival will run from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. on the athletic fields. So what's the weather looking like for this weekend, Bianca?
It's going to be a little cold and rainy, but if you're going to the Changing of the Odds Festival, it should be a pretty nice day.
Good, good, good.
Today there will be a mix of clouds and sun with gusty winds coming from the northwest at 20 to 30 miles per hour. Today's high will be around 60. You'll have to get out early on Saturday to see the sun. It will most likely be cloudy with a 50% chance of showers in the afternoon and getting a little chillier that night, with highs in the mid-50s. It will still be like early spring on Sunday. You can expect partly cloudy skies with highs in the mid-60s and a low of 40. And starting off our last week of classes on Monday, you can expect mostly cloudy skies with highs staying in the mid-60s and a low of 40.
Wow, well, it sounds like Saturday you get up early and then to avoid the weather, maybe we can catch the Caps game and stay inside.
Yeah.
Hopefully. And of course, for a sports update, now we turn our attention to Mr. Nathaniel Kane.
Thanks, guys. Well, the big news this weekend is the NFL Draft. The Redskins selected Robert Griffin III, number 2 overall. The pick was expected for several weeks after the Redskins traded up from the 6th spot. Griffin has said he is excited to come to Washington and become the face of the organization. RG is ready to get to work, having already discussed core concepts with Coach Shanahan. So take a breath, Skins fans. With a franchise quarterback at the helm and an elite defense firmly in place, Washington now has a chance to compete for a division title and Super Bowls for the next decade. Rounds 2 and 3 of the draft are tonight at 7 o'clock on ESPN, with the concluding rounds tomorrow starting at noon. Let's move it over to hockey. The Caps did it. They gave me an excuse to keep the playoff beard going for at least 2 more weeks, that is. With a 2-1 overtime victory in Game 7 on Wednesday night, the Capitals dispatched the Boston Bruins and punched their ticket to the Eastern Conference semifinals for the 3rd time in the past 4 years. Fourth-line winger Joel Ward scored the game winner 2 minutes 57 seconds into overtime by driving to the net and swatting a rebound past Tim Thomas. This marks the first time in NHL history that each game of a 7-game series was decided by 1 goal. Washington rookie netminder Braden Holtby finished with 31 saves, outdueling the Bruins veteran Timmy Thomas, who had 25 saves. Combined with the Capitals' stingy defense, the regular season's most potent offense was left stumped. The Capitals will play the familiar New York Rangers in the 2nd round of the playoffs starting tomorrow at 3. Some baseball, the Washington Nationals are off to their best start ever. Washington has jumped out to 14-5, a record it could have improved last night in San Diego, but unfortunately they lost. The National League leading Nats take aim at the Dodgers for a 3-game set this weekend in LA. Meanwhile, the AL East leading Orioles head out west for a 3-game set of their own with the Oakland Athletics. News from across the pond, Real Madrid and Barcelona might be the 2 best soccer teams in Spain, but they are not the 2 best clubs in Europe, at least not this season. Barca was denied the opportunity to reach the UEFA Champions League final by a determined 10-man Chelsea side. It was a frustrating 2-3 home loss in the 2nd leg of the semifinals Tuesday. Famed striker Lionel Messi was visibly upset after the game. He missed a possible game-winning penalty kick in the 2nd half. In another stirring, nail-biting semifinal on Wednesday, Los Blancos, aka Real Madrid, were stopped in their march to a 10th European crown by a well-disciplined Bayern Munich team in a penalty shootout. The final will be held May 19th in Munich, Germany. And last but not least, the final installment of inter-campus sports rivalries at Montgomery College took place last night. The Rockville baseball team traveled up 271 last time to take on the Germantown Griffins. In the end, the Griffins won by the score of 14-5. It was great to see a strong turnout of staff, students, and administration. As an added bonus, students had a chance to win prizes and a $500 Spring 2012 scholarship. That's all for sports. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Nathaniel. Great time to be a DC sports fan. We do thank you for your time, and for all of you listening on E-Radio WMCR, we've got some good news for you. We have 1 week left of school.
It's awesome. I can't wait. Finals.
Yeah.
Keep your GPA up.
That's right, that's right. Don't let this last week catch up on you.
Don't forget to sign up for some summer classes if you want to have a lighter class load on in the fall.
Well, and then for the summer, are we taking classes? Okay. Well, maybe. Hopefully. For Nathaniel Kane and Bianca Delaglio, I'm Dan Hendricks. We'll catch you guys next week.
Bye.
All right. Audio cut.